What up, bitches? It's the misanthropic one, aka He Who Hungers. And I'm back up in this bitch for another rant. Solutions for black people. I'm recording this via cell phone. I want to try this shit out. So if you don't see an intro on here, don't get pissed off. This is, something that I just want to experiment with. Before I get into the solutions for black people, I gotta address a certain dude on here that stays on my fucking videos, always talking nonsense. It kind of brings me to the topic, solutions for black people. This dude, Def Rocker, let me tell you something. First of all, this dude claims to know me from off of YouTube. And, the one thing I can't stand about Google and YouTube, and I understand it's kind of like it's kind of a good thing, but, there's always a flip side to these things that are perceived as good. There's always something where someone could kind of take advantage of a good situation and turn it bad. This dude claims to know me from the past or some shit like that, and I kind of know who this. I think I know who this guy is, but I don't like being at a position, of disadvantage like that. So let me tell you something, Def Rocker. First of all, you could private message me and tell me who the fuck you are, because I don't like when people sit there and say, oh, I know who you are. Yeah, I used to work with you. So you can sit there and say what you want to say, but I don't know who the fuck you are for sure. You could see me in real time. This is who I am. But you'll just say, oh yeah, I used to work with you, and you're an angry black guy, so you could label me and this and that. No, I'm not gonna allow that. So you have to private message me, because I would understand if you want to maintain anonymity when it comes to the rest of YouTube, but if you're not gonna tell me who the fuck you are, because I know you're gonna respond to this video, then I'm just gonna block your ass, because I got a fucking problem with you. And let me go into that now. So that last video I put up with Tucker Carlson versus Tariq Nasheed, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw what it was. Regardless of your opinion, I threw a video up, not to rehash anything, but I believe that Tucker Carlson wiped the floor with Tariq Nasheed. I mean, it was just obvious from the first question. But this dude came on here like he usually does for these type of videos, and started spewing some shit that, again, if you have a difference of opinion, fine, but when you start saying stuff and you have holes in your argument, or better yet, you're just going to throw accusations out there and not have anything to back it up with, that's when, it's kind of, you leave yourself open. So more or less, he was going on. Someone left a comment saying, yeah, isn't this the guy that beefed with that's beefing with Tommy Sotomayor, in reference to Tariq Nasheed? So I was like, yeah. This dude goes, well, Tommy Sotomayor has a problem with women, and this other dude said no. This other dude said no, he only has a problem with certain type of women. And Def Rocker was talking about, the whole bullshit that fucking hoes talk about, like when you're criticizing them, like you're not allowed to criticize any female. They're, oh well, he's a self-hating person, he has a problem. So I said, no, he talks about a certain class of women. He's not talking about all women. He's not talking about classy women. He's talking about a certain type of women, certain class. Ratchet, no matter how they look or how they present themselves, they're always some type of ratchet asshole. So this dude goes into, you know, without going too in and out of shit, he goes into, well, why don't you, you should be able to offer solutions without berating them, without berating women, which, again, I've said this in previous videos, and niggas know the real deal. When you sit there and you come off as diplomatic, as, you know, you're not somewhat assertive, people are gonna call you soft. They're gonna call you Sambo and shit like that. This dude goes, oh well, that's not true, and no, they won't. Nobody does that. Yes, they do. I don't know what fucking planet you're living on, but if you come off that way, i.e., look at Ben Carson, simply because he was a Republican and he told black people, hey, listen, you know, you could work for yourself and build a future for yourself. Niggas were out there calling this dude a coon simply because he was a Republican. So I don't know what planet you're living on, buddy, but that's what was going on. People were saying he's a coon simply because this dude got out of the gutter, got out of the fucking ghetto, and became a fucking neurosurgeon, saving people's lives, actually saving people's lives. But he's a coon, right? So that's proof positive right there. See, this is my problem with you, Def Rocker. Like, I have proof. You can go look this up, that people were actually doing this dumb shit. And you're just, no, that's not true. That's not gonna happen. And see, I can make this accusation and give you a fucking a concrete example. You want to jump on my video and do exactly what that nigga Tariq Nasheed was doing, just throwing shit out there, not wanting to back it up. For example, this dude gets on my video, and says, well, yeah, Tucker Carlson has said white supremacist stuff before. So I said, like what? This nigga goes, well, I'm not gonna go through the Fox News archives to find anything. So I said, oh, okay. I said, well, that's what the typical leftist pro-black, modern day pro-black, argument is. They'll sit there and throw an accusation out there, and then because they don't think that someone's gonna check them on it, when they don't think someone's gonna say, hey, where'd you get that information from? They'll sit and say, well, I don't have to prove that. No, you do have to prove that. This is the same shit. I got into an argument with my uncle when I went to Italy. My uncle traveled with me, and we were talking politics and shit, and he wanted to know who I was supporting. And I said, well, if anything, I'm gonna support Trump. I have my reasons for it or whatever. All he did was say, well, first of all, he said, oh, you're stupid and this and that. You know how that shit goes. And he goes, oh, he's racist. I said, okay, well, give me an example of how he's racist. Well, and this is his response. Well, you already know, you follow him. And I said, well, I don't know what you're talking about. You're making the accusation, so you have the burden to prove what you're saying. I don't have to prove your case for you. You have to prove it to me. Did you hear what he said about black people? Like, no, obviously you know what he said, so you tell me what he said. He's like, well, and when I kept pressing him about it, I said, you're the one saying it. You have to back it up. Then he goes, well, I don't remember what he said. But and I said, well, when you remember, get back to me. To this day, he hasn't said shit, because there was nothing there that he ever said about black people. That's how you're coming off, Def Rocker. You want to sit here, and this ain't the first time you did it. You jumped on another video, called my man O'Shea Duke Jackson a coon. So I asked you, well, how's he a coon? Didn't fucking answer that. I think another person even I believe it was my man Niccolo 4 that asked the same shit on the same video, or it might have been somebody else. You said that O'Shea Duke Jackson is a coon. So I'm asking you, well, how is he a coon? And you never responded to that. You just like to throw your accusations out there, and then, you know, you just want people to just, you're used to these other suckers, these other weak-minded motherfuckers that won't ask questions. And, oh yeah, that's true. And they run with it. That's what I meant about a leftist. I wasn't talking about you personally. That's what leftists do. They'll sit there and throw something out there. And, oh yeah, he's a racist. He's a bigot. And that's that. No, you got to back up what you say. Okay? So, how this correlates to the solution shit. This dude comes around talking about, oh, you know, you shouldn't really sit here. First of all, he talks about, yeah, you know, I don't see the ratchetness, I just ignore it. Well, let me refer you to one person who I know that you probably idolize, Martin Luther King. You know, some people have their opinions of him or whatever. He wasn't a perfect man. But again, he said some profound things, one of which was, if you see a problem and you're silent about it, by your silence, you condone that issue. You condone it. So if you don't say anything about ratchet ass behavior, that means that you condone it. And you're saying, well, I just ignore it. I don't say it. I ignore it. I don't say anything about it. So in a way, you're giving it a pass because, you know, the bitch is a female. And I've seen, and this ain't the first time you made those comments, bro. This ain't the first time you're talking about, oh, well, you know, she's a woman and you know, you shouldn't talk about women that way. No, fuck that. See, the difference between me and a lot of niggas on the planet is that, see, people say that I'm misogynistic and I have hate speech, or one woman said I had toxic speech. No, it's not that. It's just that I hold women to the same standard that I hold everyone else. You ain't that fucking special. So what? You got tits and a vagina. So what? I should be able to check you if I see that you're on some fuck shit. I should be able to do that and not worry about the consequence. I should be able to do that with impunity. But yeah, if I'm saying something wrong, yeah, then check me. But don't say that simply because I'm talking about women that it's a bad thing, or because a bitch is ratchet. Oh, well, just ignore it. Who cares? Or just uplift them. And I talked about that uplifting shit going into the solutions. The reason why I don't do that shit is because why would I uplift you if you're not doing it yourself? You don't need somebody to uplift you if you have the utmost confidence in yourself. Why would you ask for upliftment? That's the dumbest fucking shit on the planet. I usually say, wow, that's a great act by so-and-so. I usually say that if the person's already on their way to it. Why would I sit there and see that somebody's doing something that I don't agree with and just say, oh, come on, you know, I'm not going to do that. If the Bible says it, the Bible says God helps those who help themselves. I'm not going to help somebody that's doing some fuck shit. That's just retarded. That's insane. You know, that's like if someone's dangling off a cliff and they're literally looking up at me and I'm trying to pull them up and their body's limp and they're not even doing anything like giving me their other hand or pulling themselves up. Why the fuck should I fucking sit there and put all my energy into helping you? That just don't make fucking sense. The dude went into talking about solutions for black people, and you should offer, you and Tommy Sotomayor should offer solutions. And what I went to, and this is where get into, like David Carroll says, the meat of the video, excuse me, is he said, oh, you know, you should be able to do that without berating people. It's not berating. It's just the harsh fucking truth. Solutions. Look, the solutions for what's going on within the black community is well within the problem. If you're being ratchet, stop being ratchet. If you're fucking having kids out of wedlock, stop having kids out of wedlock. Just do the opposite of... Why should anyone have to fucking tell you the most simple bullshit, basic shit in life? No one should have to tell you this shit. So that's my point. And I brought up one of the OGs, Booker T. Washington, one of my favorite fucking black revolutionaries, because he said the most simple thing: niggas, go out and do for fucking self. The most simple thing in the world. You don't have to assimilate with nobody. You don't have to sit there and be buddy with anybody. Go out there and get your fucking hands dirty. So this nigga comes back and says, well, yeah, see, he did offer a solution. That's what I'm talking about. What's wrong with that? The problem is that Negroes back then were doing that, but they wanted to integrate. That's where we fucked up. And then the welfare state fucked us up. A feminist movement fucked us up. That's where the women went out and chose sex over race. And that's what fucked us over. So nowadays, you see successful black people, especially successful Africans, or Africans that will come here and be successful, but the African-American Negro who's been here for X amount of years, even before certain Africans, still don't get it. Why should you be told the most basic bullshit in life? Why should someone sit there and tell you, go to school, get money, get pussy, respect others, take care of your seeds, and just live life to the fullest? Why does somebody have to tell you that? It's basic bullshit. Basic bullshit. Like, this is what, nobody else has to deal with this shit. It's only the Negro that got to deal with this shit. And, you know, he was bringing up, because I said, it's essentially feel-good speech. That's what you want. He goes, no, it's not feel-good speech. It's, you know, just talking economically, educationally. And like I said, when certain motherfuckers do that, they will be considered a soft shoe, a Sambo, unless you're preaching that victimhood shit like that nigga Boyce Watkins does, because he knows that. That's why that dude knows that just spitting that financial shit wasn't getting him no place, because a lot of niggas ain't gonna follow him for that. They're not gonna do that shit. Now he had to get on that whole victimhood shit because it's fucking marketable. That's the problem with black people. Your movement is so fucking marketable. And I'm saying your movement because half of that shit I don't subscribe to. I don't subscribe to Black Lives Matter. Shout out to Lord Jamar, by the way. I want to do a video on that. But I don't subscribe to that shit because it's not a black movement. It's something that, you know, anybody, that this dude, George Soros, controls. It's not black. But niggas are so happy. Oh my God, we got a movement. And, you know, they're doing really good things. No, they're not. They're not talking to niggas in Chicago saying, hey, listen, man, we're out here fighting for you. So you gotta stop shooting each other because you're making us look bad. No, they're not going to say that because those lives don't matter. It's fucking hypocritical. See, and then when you talk like this, niggas like Def Rocker will say, well, you shouldn't talk about that. Ignore that shit. No, fuck that shit. So, again, when it comes down to solutions for shit, when you sit there and talk a certain type of way, you will be labeled a sellout or Uncle Tom, even though that term it's just taken out of context because niggas aren't educated. A lot of niggas ain't educated. They haven't read at least the ending of Uncle Tom. Go read it and you'll see that Uncle Tom isn't what you think it is. The whole solution shit is fucking just a way for them to take a reprieve and to rethink their strategy. So let me tell you something. When niggas come up like this dude saying, oh, well, you're just angry. You're an angry black guy. You know, when niggas come up with that stupid ass shit, it's just like, I talked about this before, when bitches come up to you and say, well, you're just hurt. You're just hurt. That you already know that these niggas got nothing valuable, nothing substantial to say. Absolutely zero. Because for them to sit there and say stupid ass shit like that and say, well, you're just angry, that's not addressing anything. That's so what? Let me tell you something. Do you think that Martin Luther King was angry? I would say so, because he felt that his people were being slighted, mistreated. I would say Malcolm X was angry. I would say Frederick Douglass was angry to some extent. I would say one of my other favorites, a black female, since you say that I have such a problem with fucking women, Madam C.J. Walker, one of my favorite black revolutionaries. I would say she was a little bit angry with the way that black people, and particularly black women, were treated back in the day. I would say she was angry. Right, but it's all about, it doesn't matter how you deliver the message. It's if you get the message, and most people do get it. I'm not gonna sit here and be nice to you. I'm in my fucking 30s. You want me to sit here and play patty cake? Oh, come on, guys. That nice guy shit don't fucking work. Stop it. All right. So when it comes down to solutions, no, I'm not gonna sit here and say, come on, guys. Let's go to school. Let's, I'm not gonna treat you like a white liberal. I'm not gonna do that bullshit, because they'll sit there and be paternalistic to you, talk to you like little kids, but they're the true racists. But on the back of that, you think that they're so honorable and they're doing shit for you when they're really not. What they're really doing is telling you, it's okay, little nigger. It's okay. You can do this shit. We understand. You're a victim. We get it. Just as long as you don't bring that shit on my side of into my city limits, it's okay. You can make make your grades. We'll make your grades 70% and passing. That's passing. It's okay. You don't have to. We understand you can't make it on our level. You can't. We understand that you can't make 90% and up. We get it. It's okay. They talk to you like fucking little kids. But a real white person, a person that, or a real person, not even just white, just a real person in general, will just say, no, I'm gonna go get that grade. I'm gonna go get that 90%. You can't tell me what I can and can't achieve. See, I'm not gonna talk to you like that. I'm gonna give it to you raw, like ODB said. All right. So that's why I don't really talk solutions. The solutions are well within the problem, well within it. If I'm saying this is fucking stupid, what the fuck? You would think, okay, do the opposite. Doctor says, and one of the things that Tommy Sotomayor says, I got to give him credit for this because it just makes fucking sense. If you're at a doctor's and he says, wow, your smoking is giving you lung cancer, what do you think the solution is? Well, stop smoking. Why the fuck does he have to spoon feed that to you? Use your fucking common sense. Look, I'm going to go. I've been rambling enough. Fuck you if you're looking for solutions. Figure it out in your fucking goddamn self. That's what every other race does. They're not sitting around saying, come on, you have to tell me what to do. All right? Done ranting. Everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe, and that's it. Peace, bitches.